Hello, welcome back. And this is the third video in a three-part series that I've been doing on 15 ways to strengthen your immune system or how to not get sick. So if you haven't seen the first two installments, the first 10 items on the list, then please go back and watch those now so this will make more sense to you. So just a quick review on the first 10 items, and I'll just real quick refer to my notes here on this one. Number one is get your sleep. Number two is exercise, but don't overtrain. Number three is practice daily stress management. Number four is avoid refined sugars and limit overall sugar consumption. Number five is supplement with vitamin D. Number six is supplement with vitamin A. Number seven is eat plenty of green leafy vegetables and cruciferous vegetables. Number eight is also eat your darker pigmented vegetables like your reds, blues, blacks, and purples, including legumes. Number nine is consider supplementing with probiotics. And number 10 is eating mushrooms or taking mushroom tinctures for immunity. So again, refer back to those prior two videos to get more details on those items. So continue on here, number 11 on the list is, and again, these are listed in order of priority. So this next one, drink plenty of water, stay hydrated. Could very well be number one. As you know, sleep was number one. But in terms of immunity, because overall, staying hydrated is the most crucial thing we can do, just for overall health. But specifically for immunity, the other 10 things are a little more priority. Nevertheless, drinking plenty of water is key. So what is plenty of water, or how much water should you drink? Well, I think you should start off with, based on your body weight, a ½ ounce per pound of body weight in water. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you're talking about 75 ounces of water. And I would drink most of that water between meals. You don't want to drink a lot of liquids or water during a meal or while you're eating, because you can dilute your stomach acids and inhibit digestion, which is the last thing you want when it comes to good health and maintaining immunity. And I would try to make sure that the water you drink is just water. There are a lot of designer bottled waters out there that we all know about now, Smart Water and all these other things. And even bottled waters like Aquafina, which are made by soft drink companies. If you look at the ingredients and label on these things, they're not just water. There's preservatives in there. They're metabolized different than water. It's not the same as getting pure water. And I recommend just drinking, finding a good source of filtered water and going with that. I just, first thing in the morning, drink a big glass of water, start my day, and keep a water bottle with you all day long. Number 12 is fasting. There's a lot of research, especially recently, on the health benefits of fasting, but in particular when it comes to immunity. And so what do I mean by fasting? There are lots of different ways you can fast. I'm talking about just a pure water fast. If you've never done this before, I recommend starting off slowly, meaning just try it for a day. And really, when I say water fast, I mean just drinking water. Try not to take any supplements during this time unless it's something that you have to have for survival, or that's been prescribed for you in forms of medication. But for our purposes, when we talk about fasting, we mean just not eating food. What it does is it gives your body a break from having to work on digesting, and it really helps to sort of clean out and reset your system. Not to mention it puts you in a sort of a ketogenic state, which is anti-inflammatory, also good for immunity. We talked about that earlier. And it promotes the growth hormone in your body, and that is also very good for immunity, as well as the anti-aging benefits. So I recommend doing a 3-day fast. Again, if you're starting off, start off with a 1 or 2 day. But I try to do a 3-day fast a few times a year to sort of reset everything, give my body a boost. It's a great way to clean the slate, and it's a great jolt to your immune system. Number 13 is limit your consumption of processed foods like flour-based foods and pasteurized milk-based foods and really packaged goods in general. So the exception here when it comes to dairy products would be your raw milk products like raw cheese and yogurt, because these things are full of good healthy enzymes and bacteria that sort of almost pre-digest the proteins that we're trying to minimize here in this particular food group. But eating a lot of these processed foods, and the typical American diet is you're having 3-4 servings a day of these processed foods. Typically, it's almost in every meal. I mean, between cereal for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, and pasta for dinner. I know that not everyone eats like that, but that's a typical American diet. Includes these starchy type foods multiple times a day, and the problem is that our body has a hard time assimilating these kinds of foods or getting the proper nutrients out of them. So not to mention the other problem that we are having here with these kind of foods is they tend to be high glycemic, meaning they spike blood sugar quickly, which causes the release of insulin, and then that causes your body to store more fat, and it does have a negative impact on your immune system, or it can. If you get in this vicious cycle of constantly spiking blood sugar, having it drop back down, that is not a good roller coaster to be on, especially for immunity, but also in terms of metabolism. These kinds of foods can also promote a condition called leaky gut, which basically in a quick way to describe leaky gut is it lets unhealthy toxins into your bloodstream and keeps good beneficial nutrients out. And things like gluten-containing foods, like your flour-based foods, your grain-based foods that are into a flour form, will promote a leaky gut situation. And your pasteurized milk-based foods are really full of the main protein in cow's milk, for instance, is casein. It's a mucus-forming protein or mucus-promoting protein. So you got to just watch the amount of these foods you're doing and keep it to a minimum. Number 14 is cold therapy. So what I mean by this is intentionally exposing yourself to extremely cold temperatures. There is a lot of recent research on the health benefits of cold therapy. And so practically speaking, the way you would do this is simply taking a cold shower. And I don't mean going in cold. I mean, take your hot shower, do all your business, and then finish it off with 60 to ideally 90 seconds of as cold as you can get it. And this has tremendous benefits in terms of stimulating the immunocytes and your lymphatic system in your body. And this is really obviously beneficial for our purposes of this discussion, but it can also have some anti-aging benefits and some anti-inflammatory benefits. So cold shower is one way to do that. And you can also, there are a lot of salons now that have these cryo chambers or cryotherapy, where you stand in a body size chamber that releases a nitrogen gas that is extremely cold. I'm talking, negative 200 plus degrees Fahrenheit for 3 minutes at a time. So it's just a quick burst, but it's amazing how much better you feel coming out of a cold therapy session, be it a cold shower or a cryotherapy session like I just described. It's sort of my morning cup of coffee, because I'm not a big coffee drinker, but the cold showers really do energize me. And I used to hate cold water, but I've gotten used to this routine now on a daily basis, and I love it. I love the feeling coming out, and I love that I have more energy and less inflammation because of it. There's a guy named Wim Hof who's kind of a crazy science kind of guy on the internet. You can find him, and he can teach you all about the benefits of cold therapy. He's called the Iceman. He's written books, books written about him. He holds world records for cold exposure, but there's a whole breathing technique that goes with this that helps you in terms of tolerating these cold temperatures, that I recommend you looking at some YouTube videos on how to do that breathing technique. The last thing on our list is S-acetylglutathione. It's a big fancy scientific word, but basically it's a very powerful antioxidant that is very beneficial for immunity. There are different forms of glutathione, and there are lots of different foods you can eat that promote the production of glutathione and contain glutathione, mostly your animal-based foods, your meats. But most of us just aren't going to eat enough of that to get the benefits that I'm talking about here in terms of immune-boosting benefits. So this specific form, the S-acetyl form of glutathione, is particularly beneficial when it comes to upper respiratory type viruses like the one that we're dealing with right now, the SARS-CoV-2 and the COVID-19 virus. And so supplementing with this may be the difference in, if you do contract this virus, having that condition escalate to a really serious upper respiratory infection, or worse yet, pneumonia. So I would keep this on hand if you can get it online. Two companies I like for this kind of a product, this kind of supplement that comes in a capsule form, are Zymogen and Designs for Health. They're professional lines. You might need to get a professional healthcare practitioner to order it for you, or you can go on Amazon and see if you can get it there. But it's a very good thing to have around. It's been used for years for asthmatics, again, an upper respiratory condition, to help minimize the symptoms of asthma or the negative effects of asthma. So thank you. That concludes our 3-part video series on ways to boost your immune system. Thanks for tuning in, and stay healthy. Bye.